So here we are, Rising the Shield Hero Season 2, Episode 1. Um, if you all already know, I actually did a video initially, a full reaction actually, and then a breakdown of what I thought about the episode. But unfortunately, that got blocked and that got taken down. And more or less, it was like 7 a.m. and I stayed up all night, and basically part of the morning to record that, and I didn't really feel like trying to dispute it at that point. The video wasn't even on the screen, but I wasn't gonna really worry about that. We're just here, and we're gonna talk about the Rising of the Shield Hero, and obviously the season 1 release or season 2 release, and episode 1, the first episode back from, I don't know, since 2019. So it's been like 3 years, something like that. So I'm happy that it's back. Finally, it's back. The opening, pretty much how I thought it was gonna be. It starts at Raftalia's village. Kind of assumed that the light novel doesn't start like that. Obviously, the whole Raftalia village doesn't happen until later in the light novel, but at least we start there, so we have some continuity there. So I assumed we would do that. We have a little like wholesome interaction with Naofumi and the people there, like the whole lordship thing. That's good. I mean, it's pretty cool. It makes Naofumi feel, I guess, less like an anti-hero, but obviously in the anime, it's already felt like that. It's not too much, you could say, anti-hero. It's very, very hero. Um, but even with that, so we have some wholesome interactions. We have some interaction with Rishia, who's wearing her penguin outfit still, which is supposedly so she can't be seen in terms of her being sad or stuff like that. And then also on top of that, they're talking with the old lady, the one that Naofumi gave medicine to all those episodes back, and she's basically training them how to use ki, which is definitely an interesting thing. We do get a shot of a lady training with a sword, and we don't see her very much. I believe she has pink hair. We do get a shot of her, and she will definitely become relevant, I believe. I think it's her that becomes sort of relevant. It's nothing crazy. It's not like she's like some main character, but you'll definitely be seeing her again eventually. Also, after the fact that we get the little cut screen, we have some nice like just side animation, just like an overview of everything that's going on at Raftalia's village, which is really nice. And then we get the whole bat attack where all the bats come swarming, blah, 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 and attack them. And it's very similar to the bats that we saw in the cave on, like, I think it was like the 5th or 6th episode of season 1. So we see that the bats attack, they handle it. Philo and Raftalia they're really strong right now, like really strong, upwards of like high level 70s. They handle the bats with relative ease. And they're kind of at the point where they aren't sure where the bats are coming from. So they have a council meeting, a 4 heroes council meeting, which is a little different than the light novel. The light novel one definitely took a little bit longer, I would say. Maybe it was just because I was reading it, but it definitely did take a little bit longer than the one we had here. It was very simple. It was very it felt very video game side quests esque. Like the other 3 heroes were basically saying like, no, I don't want to, like I don't want to do it. Like I don't want to fight the turtle or the spirit tortoise or whatever. As I mean, that's a spoiler for what we're talking about a little bit ahead, but obviously the spirit tortoise is the main threat of this season. So, yeah, so they're like, oh yeah, we don't want to fight him. So that's simple, blah, blah, blah. And that's literally it. Like that was the conversation, it was kind of stale. They just left immediately. They said something to Naofumi, like a little snarky, or at least Motoyasu did. And then that was kind of about it with that. Obviously Naofumi did talk to the queen about the spirit turtle or spirit tortoise, in which he's going to go and basically take on the spirit tortoise here in the coming episodes. Because spoiler alert, it's not like he's going to fight it this episode. Actually, the pacing of this episode was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Obviously you're not going to see my original reaction, but my original reaction was that the pacing was going to be kind of messed up, and I thought the fight was going to start this episode, so I'm glad they did slow it down, because it is a 13 episode season, I think. So It's good that they have this pacing. I feel like it's a decent pacing. So then obviously we have the little side character stuff with Risha. You do see some like humanity from Itsuki, which is surprising. I feel like I don't think that happened in the light novel. I might be wrong on by saying that, and I'm sure if someone read the light novel, I'm sure they would correct me. But but yeah, he shows some like actual humanity toward Risha. Basically asking like, hey, sent a letter to your parents, blah blah blah, how you been, blah blah blah. But that's really about it. And then it's like back to that hardened type of attitude that he has with the whole, oh, like you're too weak, like you're too weak to be in my party, and even with the Shield Heroes' help, like you're still gonna be too weak, which it's not gonna be true. It's not gonna be true. She's gonna be very prevalent throughout the. I don't know if it'll be this season. She's gonna be pretty good character. It's either this season or maybe leading into season 3, where she becomes like relatively pretty interesting in terms of a character. Her voice actor or actress is really good, by the way. I feel like I haven't heard Risha's voice like throughout season 1 at all, and it was really good. Sorry, I'm literally just like thinking and reading off of stuff that I had written down throughout while I was watching it. So but yeah, so the voice actor really good. We had an interaction with Motsuyasu and Mine. That was pretty interesting. The whole bitch and slut thing is still a thing. Yeah, so Motsuyasu, well, Mine asks him, hey, like, did you please ask like my mother to give me back the princess title, blah blah blah. And Motsuyasu didn't. He didn't ask, and he basically was like, "Oh, he's like, I'm sorry, my bad." And he says her actual name now, that she's technically her adventure name is now Slut. So, he then says, "Oh no, I didn't Slut," and then fucking just walks away. So it makes it seem kind of weird. Like the way Motsuyasu is acting toward Mine seems less manipulated, but I wouldn't hold on to that too much, because as a lot of the light novel know, a lot of the light novel readers know, and even the manga readers, the heroes are stupid. The heroes are dumb. So this whole like the little bits that we see here may not even matter in the future. It could go back on that, but it might be just it might be the writer of the anime and the person that's setting everything up might be kind of throwing the audience a bone, because frankly a lot of hate, Shield Hero got a lot of hate when the first season came out because of how stupid the other heroes were. But that's kind of the thing. I don't think people realized that when it came out. That's the whole niche behind it. It was like the heroes are dumb. Like that was the whole thing. So keep that in mind. That was just one of those things. What else? So yeah, we see some humanity. We don't really see much of Ren. We don't really talk to Ren that much. I mean, we see him in the Four Heroes Council meeting, but other than that, Ren is like non-existent. And then we obviously have I believe this was after the Four Hero Council's meeting. I don't have it written down. We have a little montage with Naofumi's party, with like traveling to different areas. And the queen even asks about Melty. So like if you're wondering where Melty is right now, she's at Raftalia's village helping out and like stuff like that. So which the queen is happy to hear and stuff, but that's so minor. Well, we don't really see much of that. And then during one of their journeys, the Shield Heroes party, Philo actually gets more or less Vitoria's like reaching out to her through her calic, and they're like talking back and forth, or at least like signaling back and forth. It's kind of like a radar. It's kind of weird, but Victoria is really mad at Naofumi right now. So, I mean that's only because the heroes haven't solidified their relationship yet, and Naofumi even though he tried, he still didn't get it done. Because at the end of the day, they're not together. They're not like a team anymore. They're still not a team. And Naofumi even realizes like that's hard. It's easier said than done. It's like impossible. So that's like why Victoria's mad. And you see that because, I mean, for one, Naofumi says that she's mad, right? But you also see it because Vittoria basically tells him, like, no, you figure it out yourself. Use your brain. Like, that's what she basically says. So she's definitely holding a bit of a grudge there. Obviously, Vittoria is a good character, like, but she's been protecting these other countries just because of this petty little thing with the heroes. So that's just one thing. So then they travel further. Because they're heading toward the Spirit Tortoise at this point, to basically cut it off and find out where it is. And they're seeing refugees pass by, all that stuff. And then on the way there, they hear that the other three heroes have gotten killed. Which, cool. I think my only problem with this scenario is, and please, I really hope you're not watching this before you watch the episode. But the only problem with this is it got debunked about a minute and a half later. Like, we had no reason to even worry. Like, I wasn't worried in general, but because I mean, obviously, the first episode you wouldn't have all three heroes die, and then the waves would just get harder. So that wouldn't happen. But the problem with that is they heard the rumor from some random guy. Then Rishia gets like frustrated and runs off to try to find Itsuki. But then Vittoria basically just tells Philo, hey, they're not dead. So we could assume that either their parties are dead or something of that magnitude. But supposedly they're not dead. So that kind of like killed the suspense entirely. Like it wasn't even suspenseful at that point, to be fair. But yeah, so that was part of that. And then they continued to travel. And then the bats showed up again, and then even more monsters. Actually, lower level monsters compared to Naofumi and his party, around level 30. I believe it was either 36 or 32. And he kind of they kind of fought for a bit, but then there were a lot, so he used his shield to make everything aggressive to him, and then he used his curse series to wipe it all out, using his flame attack. I believe it was like shield black flames or something like that. I don't really remember off the top of my head. I would have to look it up. But I will say the animation with the new shield prison is pretty sick. I know it's like a very small tidbit you'll see. He'll use a shield prison to, I think, defend a little family. And the shield prison, the way it folds back up is really awesome, really sick. So yeah, it's like a nice animation. It's like so much different than his ball. So like before it was like it would like wrap around and then the chains would wrap around. But this is like, it's like a weird I don't know how to explain it, like little squares that like fold up. It's actually really, really satisfying and really cool. I don't know if they did that on purpose in terms of Shield Prison, or it was like because he developed so much, this is the way it looks now. Or maybe because way back when, right? It could either be a level thing or be that way back when he was like under all this stress, hate, stuff like that. It would look like an actual prison, like chains and stuff like that. But now it doesn't look like that because he doesn't feel that way. Maybe that's the case. Maybe it's not. I thought it was a cool touch nonetheless, even if it was based on levels or based on what I just said. So that was really cool. He wipes out all the monsters like instantly using the curse series. And then we kind of end with Raftalia, Rishia, and Philo running back down to check on him. And then there's just a woman. And we see this woman earlier, not too much. We literally see her like one time. And she's just a hooded woman. And you see her for 3 seconds. It's just a hooded woman. And she walks up and she says, and asks the shield hero to kill her. And that's the end of the episode. And I like the pacing. If you don't know what's happening next, I won't say what's happening next in terms of who that woman is. But I'm sure all of you smart people can make a pretty bold assumption on who the hell she is, especially if she's asking, hey, can you kill me? So it is definitely an interesting episode 1. I'm kind of waiting for the hype to wear off a little bit for myself, because I can't tell if it was actually a good episode 1 or was it because it's kind of like that homecoming, you know? We're finally getting Shield Hero Season 2 Episode 1. I will say, no bias, it's a good episode 1. Like, for an episode 1, it's good. Like, I feel like in all actuality, we shouldn't have had insane battle, blah, blah, blah. No. Because it's just not the case. Where they ended season 1, it just wouldn't have worked. So it just made sense that it was very calm. We had Rishia back. We had the whole Raftalia village. But, yeah, like the Raftalia village is kind of weird. I'm glad they kept the continuity instead of just retconning it. So that's good, at least. But it is weird seeing that we have the whole Raftalia village, but it kind of has no consequence. Like, it doesn't really matter that they're there. Like, it's cool seeing the like relationship with Nafumi and the other people, but or the demi-humans. But other than that, there's not a crazy amount of consequence on that. But yeah, that's about it. That's kind of my review slash reaction slash thoughts on Shield's Hero Season 2, Episode 1. I'm going to be doing these pretty much every time they come out. So we'll have 13 episodes of this. But like I said, I hope y'all enjoyed. And yeah, that's about it. And I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later. I don't want to waste what's left.